Good morning, children. In our last English class, we did the poem Rain on the Roof. I hope you have revised it. I had asked you to read the poem again and revise. I am sure you have done it and you must have understood the poem also. It's a very nice poem. And today, as I told you in my last video, that today we are going to start with the question answers. Maybe some of you have seen the questions also and you have tried to find out the answers. Today I will be reading out the question and I will be telling you the answers as well, which you will have to write down later on in your copies. Wherever you have been writing all your work till now, in the same copy, whether you are writing in the copy or if you are writing on pages, then please write together and staple the pages so that all your work is intact. Don't write here and there. Okay, compile every work and keep it together. Question number 1. What do the following phrases mean to you? Discuss. Number 1. Humid shadows. If you remember, humid shadows, this phrase has come in the first line of the poem. What do you mean by humid shadows? Humid shadows refer to the dark clouds. Humid shadows refer to the dark clouds that produce rain. Okay, I am repeating the answer. Humid shadows refer to the dark clouds that produce rain. Second, starry spheres. This also comes in the first stanza. Starry spheres. What do you mean by starry spheres? Starry spheres refers to the night sky abounding in stars. Starry spheres refers to the night sky abounding in stars. Abounding in stars means the sky which is full of stars. You can write full of stars also. If you don't want to write abounding, you write full of stars. I am repeating, starry spheres refers to the night sky full of stars or abounding in stars. Next, what a bliss. What a bliss. What a bliss refers to the happiness of the poet. What a bliss. Bliss here refers to the happiness, because when it is raining, if you remember, I had told you that when it is raining, the poet feels that it is like a blessing. Bliss, I told you, it refers to a blessing, and blessing always relates to happiness. So when you are going to explain this, you will write what a bliss refers to the happiness of the poet, because when you will also add, you will complete the answer like this. What a bliss refers to the happiness of the poet because he feels that when it is raining, it is like a blessing. The rain appears to be a blessing and he enjoys the patter of the rain. I am repeating the whole answer, children. What a bliss refers to the happiness of the poet because when it rains, the poet feels that it is like a blessing and he enjoys the patter of the rain. Next is 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. The explanation of this is, this refers to the various imaginary thoughts and fancies which are in poet's mind. This refers to various thoughts, various imaginary thoughts and fancies, or you can write beautiful imaginations which come in poet's mind. Next, 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. It means that thousands of memories, innumerable memories, thousands of memories intermingle or they weave to form a beautiful picture that the poet recollects. I am repeating. This means that thousands of beautiful memories intermingle to form a beautiful picture in the mind of the poet. Thousands of beautiful memories intermingle to form a beautiful picture in the mind of the poet. Question number 2. What does the poet like to do when it rains? What does the poet like to do when it rains? Very simple question and a small answer to this question. When it rains, the poet feels very happy and he feels like lying down with his head pressed against his pillow, and he wants to lie down in his bedroom to listen to the patter of the rain. I am repeating. I am not telling you word by word, children. You are in class 9. I am telling you the answer. You can always change the language of the answer. You can always change the arrangement of words in the answer and then write yourself. Okay? I am not dictating the answer to you as we used to do when you were in class 6. You are in class 9th now. So listen to my answer and frame your own answer accordingly and write in your own words. I am telling the answer again. The question is, what does the poet like to do when it rains? So you will write, when it rains, the poet feels very happy, or you can write, the poet feels very delighted and he wants to lie down pressing his pillow against, with his head pressed against his pillow. He wants to lie down on his bed with his head pressed against his pillow in his cottage chamber bed, or you can write in his bedroom, and he wants to listen to the patter of the rain. Listen to the answer once more. I am repeating for your convenience. You will write, when it rains, the poet feels very happy and he wants to lie down on his bed with his head pressed against his pillow, and he wants to lie down in his bedroom and listen to the patter of the rain. Okay, so you will write this in this answer. Question number 3. What is the single major memory that comes to the poet? Who are the darling dreamers he refers to? I am sure some of you must have guessed the first part of the answer. What is the single major memory that comes to the poet? Remember what memory we have studied in the last stanza? The memory of his mother. So you will write, the single major memory that comes to the poet is that of his mother and her fond look. I am repeating, the single major memory that comes to the poet is that of his mother and her fond look. Second part of this question, who are the darling dreamers he refers to? The darling dreamers are the poet and his siblings in their childhood, when their mother used to put them to sleep in a loving manner. I am repeating, the darling dreamers are the poet and his siblings in their childhood, when their mother used to put them to sleep in a loving manner or lovingly. Listen again. The darling dreamers are the poet and his siblings in their childhood, when they were put to sleep by their mother in a loving manner. Okay? Next question. Is the poet now a child? Is his mother still alive? Is the poet now a child? No, the poet is now not a child. He is a grown-up man. Is his mother still alive? His mother is not alive now, and he remembers his mother when he listens to the patter of the rain. His mother is not alive, and he remembers his mother when he listens to the patter of the rain. Next is Roman number 2. When you were a young child, did your mother tuck you in as the poets did? Very simple question. When you were a young child, did your mother tuck you in as the poets did? That means as the poet's mother used to tuck the poet closely. In the same way, did your mother also tuck you closely when you were a small child? I am 100% sure everybody is going to write yes. Isn't it? We cannot forget the affection and the love which we get from our mother and father. Especially with mothers, we sit closely, we are tucked closely by our mothers when we are small. That love, that affection which we get from our mothers, we can never forget. So this answer you will write on your own. Obviously the answer is yes, but you will not finish the answer only with yes. You will add at least 2 sentences from your side. This I am leaving to you. Next, do you like rain? What do you do when it rains steadily or heavily as described in the poem? Now this is again a general question, children. You have to write your own experience. Do you like rain? Answer is again going to be yes. Everybody likes rain. Everybody enjoys the beauty of nature. Everybody likes to admire the rain. Why? Because we are greatly relieved from the hot and humid weather which we have been experiencing for so many days. And secondly, the rain, it brings freshness in the atmosphere. What do you do when it rains steadily or heavily as described in the poem? Some of you might write, we take a bath in the rain. Or some of you will just write, I just admire the rain. I prefer to look outside the window of my bedroom to admire the rain. So this answer is again up to you. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to write in this answer, you can express your feelings accordingly. Next question. Does everybody have a cozy bed to lie when it rains? Look around you and describe how different kinds of people or animals spend time, seek shelter, etc. during rain. A very nice question to think over. Does everybody have a cozy bed to lie in when it rains? What do you think? Everybody has a cozy bed to lie when it rains? No. Everybody is not so privileged. Everybody is not so lucky that they have a cozy bed to lie when it rains. We are fortunate enough that we have a comfortable house to stay. We have a cozy bed to lie down. We have loving parents who are always ready to bestow their love and affection upon us. But all are not so fortunate. Look around and describe how different people or animals spend time, seek shelter during rain. You must have seen that when it rains heavily, you will see the poor people, the people who don't have proper houses. They may be living in huts, they may be living in temporary houses, they don't have a proper room to stay. If you will see outside, you will see that if it is raining heavily, some people take shelter under a shady tree. Some of them may stand, they may find a corner for themselves on the road and stand to protect themselves from the rain. Those who don't find any place to hide themselves, to save themselves, you will see that they just sit or stand, and they have no other option but to get wet in the rain, get fully drenched in the rain. So everybody in the world is not so fortunate. We are lucky enough. God has shown His mercy upon us that we have every facility which a person should have to spend a decent living. But all people are not so fortunate. Even animals even spend a worse life, I can say. Those who are pet animals, they are again lucky ones, they are again fortunate, but all are not so lucky, because the stray animals, the animals which we see on the road, whether dogs, buffaloes, cows, any other animal, they go from one place to another, they wander from one place to another to seek shelter when it is raining, or when it is a very bright sunny day, to save from the scorching heat of the sun. We sit in ACs, we stay back home, we enjoy the comfortable houses which we stay in. But all those people who are not so lucky, all those animals who are not fortunate, they really have a tough time. They really have a very hard life to lead, isn't it? So please express all these things, whatever I have told you, in the form of a complete answer, so that you can write this answer properly and completely. Now this was about your answers. Now what I will do is, children, let us do some of the reference to context also. I am reading the stanza from the book, and I will also read out the question and the answer to you, so that you can write down these, not all, I will tell you which reference to context you have to write down in your copy, but at least one you have to write, just for practice sake, because you know that reference to context is also a compulsory part of your question paper, so you should know how to answer reference to context. First is, I am reading the first stanza, okay? When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the rain, soft rain overhead. I am repeating again. When the humid shadows hover. Now when you will write the reference to context, children, you are not going to write the whole stanza. Write the first line, put some dashes, and then write the whole of the last line. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. This is your first reference to context. The question will be, read the following extract and answer the questions that follow. This is going to be your heading. I am repeating, read the following extract and answer the questions that follow. Then if from this stanza you will write down the first line, put some dashes, and then write down the last line. Okay? Now, question number 1. From which poem has the above lines been taken? From which poem has the above lines been taken? The answer is going to be Rain on the Roof. Children, always remember, in English, never answer in just one word. I am just telling you rain on the roof, but when you will write in complete sentence. The above lines have been taken from the poem Rain on the Roof. Second question. Name the poet. Name the poet. So the answer is, the name of the poet is Coates Kinney. Please see the spellings carefully and then write. I am reading out the spelling also, but while writing, be careful. COATES, capital KINNEY, Coates Kinnin. Okay. Question number 3. Humid shadows in the first line refers to dash which are laden with water. I am repeating. Humid shadows in the first line refers to the dash which are laden with water. The answer is dark clouds. You will not write dark clouds in the blank which you have made, but after writing the whole sentence with the blank, in the next line you will write answer dark clouds. Alright, I will also send you the image of this stanza along with the question and answers, so that you can see how it is written. Same way you also have to write in your copy. Question number 2. Next question. Question number 4. First question was name the poem. Second question was name the poet. Third question, humid shadows in the first line refers to the dash which are laden with water. Answer is dark clouds. Next question, that is the fourth question. In the above lines, rain has been compared to dash. In the above lines, rain has been compared to dash. The answer is tears. Remember, rain has been compared to tears. Next question. At the time of rainfall, the poet feels it to be a blessing to lie down in his bed and listen to the falling rain. True or false? Obviously the answer is false, because he is really enjoying lying on his bed and watching the rain. So answer is true. If I said false, I am very sorry for that. Answer is true. Alright, I am repeating. At the time of rainfall, the poet feels it to be a blessing to lie down in his bed and listen to the falling of the rain. Answer is true, because the poet really enjoys lying in his bed and watch the rain. You don't have to write after because. I am just telling you for your knowledge. You just have to write the answer true. Next. The word in the above lines that means the same as sad is dash. The word in the above lines that means the same as sad is dash. Answer is melancholy. The word melancholy which is used in this stanza has the meaning sad. Okay, so this reference to context you will write in the copy, and all question and answers which I have discussed before this you will write all in the copy. Complete all your work. So this is the pattern how the reference to context will come in the exam. Alright, revise everything and we will meet in the next class again. Thank you.